Alright, what's up, y'all? Back at it. I'm coming out with another video right here. Some of y'all might have seen my first one with Death on Lockdown 23 and 1, so shout out to him for letting me be on there. First, I want to start this one off by saying, though, I read the comments on that video, and while most people thought it was funny, which it is, like, for real, like, when I think it's funny now that it happened to me, that first incident, and but I seen some people say lies, and man, none of that was a lie. Saying it didn't happen, something ain't right. Everything I said was 100% fact. Nothing was fabricated. It was truth. I mean, and see, what got me to go on his channel was me getting out and telling my friends about it, and them laughing so hard and being like, man, that's funny. And so yeah, I just wanted to say, man, ain't none of that. I've been to prison twice. It's just like on this channel, I'm gonna start all the way. I might skip around a little bit, but I'm gonna start all the way from just telling stories like that again, though. Like, so, alright, here's another story. This is from the same jail now, Walker County. I'm just going to say that. And if you ain't seen the first video, go over to Lockdown 23 and 1 channel and look it up on his, and you'll kind of get a gist of what I'm talking about anyways. But, yeah, so, alright. I used to be on drugs. I mean, ain't ashamed of it. That's my past. I'm not now. But, so, alright. I'm in jail about this time. Let me see. I'm in Walker County Jail. It's about, I don't know, I want to say about 6 months in at least, maybe 7 or 8 or something like that. So, alright, these dudes get in some Roxycontin pills, right? And I want to buy some. Me and this other dude. And also he was supposedly SB also. I don't know if these dudes are really what they're claiming or anything. Like, I'm not going to say that. That's why I say supposedly. And I don't have nothing against SBs or anything. It's just a lot of them was in this jail. So, like, or they claimed to be in that jail. So, like, I interacted with them a lot. So he comes to me and he tells me about the dude that has the Roxycontins. I was like, alright, how much are they? He tells me. My family was all mad at me. I wasn't getting no lots of money on my books or anything at this time. Like, I would be lucky to get $40 a month. So I go and I spend that whole money. I think it was like, I want to say $30 worth, and I might have got a half of one of those pills. It wasn't even a whole one for that or something like that. I think it was $30. But, so alright, so the dude, we get them, and this is before we didn't have the items on us right then, so we had to wait till next store day, which is like a week away. So we do them, and the week goes by, or like a few days go by, everything's cool. Well, the SB dude who I did it with, he starts acting funny, and he's just like, hey, he comes up to me one day in my cell, closes the door, and he's like, hey, what do you think if we just don't pay them? And I'm like, man, like, I know I've been in jail enough times to know you don't get in debt like that. And then I'm in this random jail. I'm not from here. I know not a single person from that place. Like, so I'm like, man, I don't know. So he talks me into it. That's the crazy thing. He ends up talking me into, I'm like, all right, well, what are we going to do when they come at us for the money? He says, shoot, man, if you're down to bump, we'll fight with them. We'll fight them out and stuff. I'm like, all right, man, look, I don't even care. Because, if he ain't paying, I ain't going to pay. That's just the way it was. Because I don't think we were together in the whole transaction. So they're going to sit there and let it, they're not going to let it slide if I was just like, nah, here, I'm going to pay you. But I'm not even like that. But this stupid dude talked me into it. So I'm like, all right, cool. So we get store at, like, in that jail. It was like weird, a Thursday night at, like, Friday morning is what it would be at, like, 2 o'clock in the morning. Maybe it was Thursday morning and Wednesday night, but anyway, that's not important. So the night store's coming. He is gonna I hear, yeah, everybody's asleep. You know, you go to sleep waiting for the store to come in there. They bring it in and stuff, 2 guards. I hear the main door pop. It's really loud, like to come into the block. So when I peek outside and look, this dude, this SB dude, has got his mat and everything at the door. He cashed out of the block. he kited himself out. Told the guards, I don't know what he told them. I'm guessing he had problems with somebody or what. He kites himself out. And they come and get him, and I'm just sitting there shocked. He left me in there all by myself. I'm just like, what is going on now? So I'm telling my cellie at the time, like, man, this dude has just left me like just high and dry. I don't know what I'm gonna do. So you know, the dudes, everybody heard the door pop, which they weren't even asleep like I was waiting on it. But so they come up to my cell as soon as it happens, and I'm like, dang. So what happened with a homeboy? And I was like, man, truthfully, I don't know. So at this time, I'm totally backtracking on what I said though about you know, me not paying them. I'm very willing to pay them now. I'm all by myself. My half. I'm not gonna pay for his. I didn't have it if they wanted it, or if I wanted to give it to them. So yeah, they come up there, and I tell them, I'm like, all right, look, I don't know what he just did. I was asleep. He ain't talked to me about that or nothing. I don't know. So I was like, I'm still going to pay for mine. And just like I said earlier in the video, that wasn't good enough. They said, oh, no, y'all came together. So, you know what it is. You need to go on and cover up his debt. I was like, man, you know, and I'm trying to be cool with them because, like I said, I don't know nobody from there. And they all jump, like, which that's another video time for later. I've seen crazy fights in there. And, you know, I've seen more jumpings than I ever have out in the street in that jail. They don't fight fair. So I'm like, man, look, I ain't got it to give y'all. I was like, I can't do it. And there's 3 of them now. They were all 3 in on this, getting the pills in and stuff. I was like, I can't pay y'all. So they were like, man, all right, well, when store gets here, we're going to see what's up, see how you can owe or whatever. So store gets there, man. They come right up to my cell. I give them, like I have the bag packed. I'm like, here, man, we going to make, I'm going to give you this and make it straight. You know, this is all, you know, everything like that. So they were like, all right, well, next week you owe us what he owed. And so I'm like, like I said, I only got money once a month. My family wasn't looking out for me, and it was like $40. So I'm like, bro, I don't have nothing else to give you for another month. Like, you know, so at this point, I'm just like, man, I'm not even gonna do it. So they take my bag and go to their cell. Man, so my cellmate is out making cakes and stuff. Everybody stays up, you know, drinking coffee and making some doo-wops and some soups and everything. Everybody's out partying, I guess you could say, in jail. So a little bit later, the dudes come back in with my bag, probably about, I'd say 15 minutes later. I'm kind of relieved now, to be honest with you, that they walked away. So dude comes back with my bag, and he throws it down. 2 of them. 2 were in the cell. And there was a big, like, man, this dude had to be 300 to 400 pounds. Probably closer to 400 pounds. Just fat. Like, he was just fat. Blocking the door, you know, so you can't get by this dude, in or out. Like, he's totally taking up the doorway. And, yeah, so... And these are black dudes too, and they were, what was so weird about it is the 2, I don't know what the big fat one was, if he was anything, but the 2 standing right there beside me one was a blood, one was a crip. I just thought that was crazy anyways, that they were about to ride together on me. But, so they come in there, they throw my bag on the bed with everything still in it. They got everything still in it, and they're like, hey, look, so we talked about it, you know, and, that we don't like that disrespectful shit, you know, and you probably knew something about it. Hell, you might be trying to cash out with them so you ain't got to pay, you know, whenever you get shit and everything. So they're like, shit, so here's your stuff back, and we just gonna whip you. That's what they said. Man, as soon as he said it, boom, he hit me in my eye. As soon as he said it. So I'm sitting there fighting back the best I can. And in these little 2-man cells, it's so, you know, my elbows, my fists are hitting metal racks, hitting sinks, everything. So somehow I get behind them, though, and I try to run out with the big fat dude blocking the door. He pushes me back in. And, so, yeah, when he pushes me back in, boom, they're just doing it. And everybody can hear what's going on, because whenever you're fighting in the 2-man cell, you just hear, it's just a loud noise. Like, you can never mistake that noise inside jails like that with the 2-man cells, or anywhere, really. You can hear the footprints hitting. And, yeah, so about that time, though, this white dude, who I'd been he was running tattoos in the block, and, I've been kind of cool with him for real. Like, we had talked, but not that cool. Like, dead serious, not that cool at all. So he comes running by, and I guess, see, oh yeah, the white dude too was a royal. He was a royal. So yeah, whenever we came through or whatever, I guess the big fat dude respected him. He didn't know what was about to go on, so he moved out the way, and the white dude runs up in there. He moves out the way for the white dude. I guess he thinks the white dude's gonna help them or something like that. So he runs in there and starts helping me fight these two off. Mind you, the big fat dude, he couldn't do nothing if he wanted to, and the only reason I say that, probably in wide open space, he might have been dangerous, but, you know, in that closed cell, he could barely move. He can't do much of anything. So he never even came up in the cell. So we fight these two off. Guards never come in. Like, I mean, we're in the cell the whole time. 4 of us just brawling, which is crazy anyways. But, so yeah, so, you know, everything just dies down eventually. People come up there, like, OGs in the block, I guess you could say, like, hey, y'all chill, man. Y'all just chill. Sit back, man. So, everything dies down. So, me and the white dude, the royal, we become like really, you know, really good friends in there. And I swear, man, we so one day, this is like, man, I don't know, probably like 2 weeks later, we ain't really said nothing to him or anything like that. And I find out though that the white dude has fought one of them, the other skinnier ones, the ones in the cell with me. I found out that he had fought one of them before, so, you know, he kind of, that's probably why he really did it. I don't see him just helping me. But yeah, so, alright, and you could pass the way that block is, or that jail is, it's like an octagon. It goes from like A dorm all the way to H dorm in the little main area, and you could slide stuff through the doors, like, you know, nothing big, but like I said, you could pop the locks if you want, but people only did that if they wanted to, you know, beat somebody up at night. You know, they ain't gonna just pop the locks in the day to get something in the middle of the day, because the guards will be looking and they might say something if they see you pop a lock. So one day, fucking, the white dude gets called to the door in the next dorm, because, you know, he's from there. He knows a lot of people in that jail. And I think I said the next day, but I didn't mean that. I meant, like, you know, a few weeks later. But yeah, so he gets called up there, and it's a dude in C dorm, a guy who trusts him. I guess he knew him from the street. And he was like, hey, I got these cigarettes from so-and-so. I ain't gonna say no names, but from so-and-so in H dorm. And so-and-so, well, not in A dorm, I mean, but so-and-so, the dude I'm talking about, is fighting messed up. Like, he's throwing hands. Like, he's something serious. And like, you know, I'd always heard about him and everything like that. I ain't met him at this point though. I ain't met him, but, you know, I've heard everybody in the jail talking about how bad he's throwing them hands. So I'm like, okay. So he's like, hey, these are from so and so, and it's some cigarettes, and he said pass them over there to E dorm, which we're in the middle of E dorm, right? So at the time, I was a smoker anyways. So my homeboy, the dude, he comes down to my block. He don't pass them over to E dorm. He comes down there and starts rolling cigarettes up out of this pack. I'm like, dang, where'd you get that from? And he tells me the whole inside scoop. He's like, look, they want me to pass it over there, but I just stole them. And now let me backtrack a little bit. This jail's real country. So like the dude I'm talking about whose cigarettes they were in A dorm, who's throwing hands, he's been in that jail so many times that he can it's pretty much just like that dude could go anywhere he wants to go in the jail. He could just go take his mat, throw it by the door, hit the button, and be like, hey, pop the door, I want to go over to that block. They'll do it for him. That's how crazy it is in this place, and that is no lie. Like, that's how crazy it is. So yeah, the one night after that, you know, we smoke and everything. We don't hear nothing else about these cigarettes now. Like, nobody asked us anything. So the white dude who's bumping, messed up, he's fighting good, comes in, the door pops in the middle of the night again. It's in the middle of the night. He came over there strictly because they got a letter passed. The dude in E-dorm, somehow, maybe it was a trustee or whatever, somehow got word to the dude in A-dorm that he didn't get those cigarettes. Like, somebody else intercepted them. So they know the only block to intercept them is the block that I'm in. Door pops at about, man, it had to be like 11 o'clock at night, midnight, something like that. Door pops. He's good friends with my cellmate, the dude, well, oh yeah, me and old buddy, the Simon City, by the way. Yeah, we moved into the cell each other. That's why. But yeah, so he was my cellmate now. But so dude comes straight to my cellmate because he is like good friends with my cellmate, this white dude. He comes straight up to him and he's like, so hey, who took my cigarettes that were over here? And my homeboy was like, shoot, I ain't seen no, like, what do you mean? I ain't seen no cigarettes. So after he was interrogating, he was like, come on, I know you know something. So my cellmate says, he says, all right, man, look, I'm going to tell you who did it. Those two black dudes over there in that cell. Talking about the ones we had fought with. He said those two black dudes in that cell did it. So the dude goes outside in the day room. Now, yeah, I said 11 or 12 o'clock at night. Remember, these cell doors don't lock. And they don't want you outside your cell after 8 o'clock. That's lockdown time. But at the same time, they're not going to do nothing if you are out. So he goes walking around the day room. And he's sitting there just walking. And I guess thinking about what he's going to do. But he's taking off his shirt and like his slides as he's walking around this day room. And man, all we hear is just that same noise I was telling you about. And you can hear screaming from these two black dudes. Like I said, now the white dude who's bumping messed up. He just got respect all through there. And I mean, it's totally believable too if y'all knew this dude that he beat these two dudes up at the time, because they weren't nothing like special either though. I mean, you know, they weren't bumping that good. They were just jumping people. But yeah, so man, you hear some screaming like, oh my God, stop! That's what they're saying. And I'm just like, oh man, these two dudes just bowed up. And after it was over, man, the dude who's bumping comes over there, and you know, we stole his cigarette. So, or I did, and I ain't even gonna say I did because I didn't know nothing about it. Like, you know, all this is hitting me. I didn't even know, dude. But we had the cigarettes, which they had all been gone by this time because this was like a couple weeks later, you know. So yeah, and you know, but the black dudes come out and they're like, man, we ain't steal no cigarettes. He's like, yeah, you did. And luckily he ain't say oh yeah, that's right, I'm sorry, my bad, I had to think about part of it. The black dudes knew we got the cigarettes, and I don't remember how they knew we got the cigarettes, but they didn't know that my cellmate told him that they had the cigarettes, so they weren't gonna snitch. You know, they didn't come out and be like, no, they really got your cigarettes, or he really got your cigarettes. They didn't say none of that. They just they didn't say nothing. They just came out and was like, man, that's messed up, man, that's messed up, I can't believe you did that. And I swear on everything, you know, the dude who was bumping good, he stayed in our dorm for about a month. Man, for like a week or week and a half after that, them black dudes only came out of their cell to grab a tray of food. They didn't come out. Like, I guess they were too ashamed because all the screaming and stuff that had just happened. But yeah, man, I mean, and I'll tell you though, next video I'm gonna let you know though what happened with eventually, I'm just gonna tell y'all, eventually old buddy who's bumping messed up found out who really got the cigarettes. So yeah, I'm gonna let y'all know about that in the next video. It's crazy what he did. Alright, yeah. Peace. Oh, like and subscribe too.